everyone. Welcome to Sapadshala's Lockdown Recipes Week. Today, in episode 5, it's going to be chaat lovers' favorite and the most requested Pani Puri. Today, I'm going to share with you all how to make the puri, the filling, the sweet or the imli chutney and also the spicy or the mint chutney. With a very few ingredients easily available in our kitchens. But my main focus is going to be on the puris, which here are going to be made using semolina or suji and whole wheat flour.
For the puris, in a mixing bowl, add 1 cup of fine semolina, 3 tablespoons of whole wheat flour and a pinch of salt. Combine all the dry ingredients well with the help of a fork. Then knead to combine them with the help of water. Keep adding water little by little and keep kneading the dough until you are able to combine it and make a stiff dough. Use regular room temperature water, not more than half a cup. Start with 1/3 cup in the beginning and then add as per requirement. Keep kneading for 3 to 4 minutes. The semolina will absorb all the water and it will come together to form a dough. Now cover this dough with the help of a damp cloth and let it sit for 15 to 30 minutes. Until then, let's prepare the other components. For the sweet chutney, add all the above mentioned ingredients to a pressure pan, add a little water and pressure cook it for 2 whistles. Now our ingredients for the sweet chutney are cooked and soft. Add salt as per taste and grind it to a smooth paste. Now take the required quantity and dilute it with water. Our sweet chutney is ready. Keep it refrigerated until use. For the mint chutney, combine all the above mentioned ingredients in a mixie jar and grind it to a smooth paste. Dilute the chutney with as much water as needed and keep this also refrigerated until use. For the filling, mash 2 to 3 boiled potatoes, combine it with a little salt, cumin powder and chaat masala powder. Mix it well and keep it aside.
Let's get back to the puri dough. Ideally, it should look something like this, soft and pliable. If it isn't, don't worry. Keep a bowl of fresh water handy. Dip your fingers in the water and start kneading the dough. After just about a minute of kneading, you will have a soft and pliable dough ready to be working with. Now let's see the why and how of this. You are working with semolina, which has a tendency to absorb lot of water and swell up. Also, the atmospheric conditions play a major role here. If you are in a dry or a very hot region, the dough is going to dry up much sooner than if you are in a wet or a more humid region. This is why you cover the dough with a damp cloth, and this helps most of the times. Pinch out small portions of the dough to work with at first and keep the other portions still covered under a damp cloth.
To roll out the dough, grease the surface well with some oil. Also grease the dough ball and your rolling pin and start rolling. After you have reached a desired size of a roti and when it feels sticky, dust some flour and continue to roll as thin as possible. Cut out small circles using a mold, a cookie cutter or a small bowl with sharp edges, whichever is convenient or the size suits your preference. Look at how thin the discs are rolled out. They have come out really well and non-sticky. You can remove them easily like this and arrange it on a plate. Cover these discs with a damp cloth until your oil is hot enough and ready to be fried. Once the oil is completely hot enough, turn the flame to a medium and add the cut out puri discs one by one. Slightly press it with the back of your perforated ladle such that it puffs up immediately. And once it has puffed up, lower the flame and let it brown and get crisp. Once done, drain out your puris completely. Have patience in this step because the puris would have absorbed a lot of oil and it will take time for them to drain out all the excess oil from inside. If you observe, most of my puris came out really well. They were puffy and crisp. But in few batches, a few puris did not puff up how much ever precise I was with the steps. The temperature of the oil, the gentle press with the back of the ladle, and I was doing everything right. Then, after a few trials, I found out what could the reason be. This was because the puris were not moist enough when I popped it into the oil. So I decided to try this trick. I dipped my fingers into a bowl of water, damped the surface of the puris with my wet finger and then popped it into hot oil. Now when I tried all the steps, the puris puffed up as usual. I think this is because I live in a place where it's very dry and hot, and the surface of the puris were getting dried up too soon even though I had always kept it covered with a damp cloth. So here is a trick for people who live in dry places, or if you find your puris are not puffing up, you can try damping it with the help of your fingers and then popping it in hot oil.
number 1. Keep your dough moist and covered with a damp cloth at all times. But remember never to add excess water when you're kneading the dough at the first place. Because your dough will generally be dry because it's suji and it's not going to combine. But that 15 minutes of resting time will work a lot to your favor and it will help in forming the dough well. Also, if you feel it's not combining too well, you can just wet your hands in fresh water and keep kneading the dough. But remember, not more than half a cup of water you have to use while kneading the dough for 1 cup of semolina. Otherwise, your puris are going to turn soggy and it will not stay puffed up. Tip number 2. After rolling out and cutting the discs also have to be kept under damp cloth. Remember, it should be wet before it is dropped in water. We are not adding baking soda to our dough. So the water or the moisture on the surface of the discs is what helps it to puff up as soon as it's put in hot oil. So if it turns out to be dry even after covering it with a damp cloth, like I shared earlier, you can just damp your hand before dropping it in hot oil. Also, don't try adding baking soda to your dough because baking soda will turn your puris brown very fast. So you will think that your puris are done and you will remove it from the oil very fast. It is going to be fine for a few minutes, but by the time you are going to indulge in your pani puris, the puris will become very soft and oily also. Tip number 3. The oil has to be really hot before frying. But when you're adding your puris, you should remember to put it on medium flame, add your puris, work it with your perforated ladle, tap it once or twice to help it puff up, and as soon as all your puris puff up, turn the flame to low and let your puris cook in them and become brown in that low temperature. This step is very important and this will help your puris to retain that crispness and remain puffed up for very long time. Remember, patience is the key here for making these puris. And I'm sure with experience, you will become faster at this. And if you happen to make these puris, don't forget to share your pics and feedbacks with me on my Instagram or Facebook handle. The links to all of it will be down below in the description box. Also, don't forget to like the video, comment down below, share the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, press the bell icon for immediate notification. Until I meet you next time, happy eating and bye-bye.